Hey friends, welcome back to Hot News. This is just a second update of everything that's kind of going on in the world of Brett, Hot News, and everything that's going on behind the scenes. This is our second, technically third location change because we are currently on a 7-week total trip of getting my son some really intensive therapy that he needs for his genetic disorder. We already completed that first 3-week leg, which thankfully put us very close to my dad and made it so that it was a lot easier to get things done. And one of the big benefits of that trip that we took was primarily focusing on our son's physical mobility. So it was a physical therapy intensive, and we have actually noticed a lot of really tremendous progress with his walking, his core strength, and we essentially got everything out of it that we were looking to. This second leg of the trip, which is going to be another 3 weeks that I'm going to be in a completely different location, is more focused on more of the fine motor skills that he needs to develop, his speech skills, his other things that he just doesn't have at this point because of his genetic disorder. So that's kind of what's going on in the world of Hot News. And if you guys at all want to support us here at Hot News directly, we do have the new SynGap merch, as well as a few other pieces of tech merch that we dropped if you want to help us on this journey, because we've had to spend 6 weeks of Airbnb money, plus we had to pay for these therapies out of pocket. And so it's been a pretty spicy trip. And then I've also not been able to work on Hot News and UFD Tech through all of that. However, if you want to give to a charity instead, this coming Saturday, we actually have the annual Sprint for SynGap 5K support. We'll leave a link in the video description where you can support my family's personal team on this 5K. I mean, I've been running 5Ks for over a year at this point, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to actually sprint for SynGap, but you can support our team directly. 100% of the money goes to SynGap Research Fund, and of the money that goes to SynGap Research Fund, 100% of that goes to actually research and going to all of the stuff that we need to potentially get my son a treatment, get him cured, because we are on the cusp of that. So I'm very excited about these trips because they've been very good for our son. It's been very taxing on our family of 5. Our older boys have been having to do school remotely, and that's been rough, as well as just on the team because I haven't been able to communicate with them effectively. But we're here in a new location for 3 weeks. Thank you all so much for the support that you've shown us in the previous 3 weeks where we've just had everything up in the air. We're coming to an end of that soon, but just kind of giving you guys more of an update since this is kind of a family relation thing. Once we get back, we're also planning on moving to a completely different state to get better services for our son and try to see some world-class doctors and pediatric neurologists who could actually help our son, because currently what we're finding in the state of Florida is just not as sufficient. So we have these 7 weeks of chaos, then I'm home probably for another 5 to 7 weeks, and then we move. That's currently the plan. That's not as set in stone because we actually still have to find a place to live, but it's potentially coming. So yes, thank you all so much for your support. We have the merch down below. Also, you could support Sprint for SynGap in case you want to support our son's genetic research directly. Thank you all so much again. Thanks to Reece and Catlin for bearing with me on all of this nonsense, and I will see you tomorrow for more tech news from an Airbnb room. I actually think this one looks pretty dope though. Like I love the symmetry.